Okay, welcome everybody. I made it to my first vlog on my Sexological Bodywork vlog. So some of you may be aware that I decided to take the 5 months intensive training to become a Sexological Body Worker, which is basically a somatic educator, sex educator. And that started 22 days ago now. I'm 22 days into the studying. And this is just, well, first of all, this is just a little update because many of you supported me on the GoFundMe campaign. And I'm just learning so much, and I'm looking forward to share it all with you in different mediums. And so we are on our fifth assignment now, and it's just going really, really well. I'm loving it. I'm feeling that it's a real sort of icing on the cake to what myself and Dara has been doing for many years. And so, somatic education in itself is, includes psychotherapy, movement, education, meditation, catharsis, and it really, its origins sort of go back to just after the 60s, and it's a movement that's been, picking up, let's say, more momentum. This sort of term, somatic education, and this sexological body work has only been really being explored and taught in the last 15 years. And there's a lot of, different controversy and so on around this education because, as you all know, sex is the biggest taboo, or let's say one of the 4, I call the 4 major taboos, being, sex, money, death and truth. But sex is huge, and it's like, for this work that I'm going into is really fascinating, the psychology around it, the topics of gender, and the topics of consent and shame, of course, abuse and so on. So we as sexological body workers don't focus so much on trauma, but really the practice or the learnings are to support people to explore and learn their own bodies, to learn about their own pleasure, to learn about their own eroticism, to learn about their own sexuality, and to go on a journey into that, really looking at that and uncovering the crazy beliefs we have, the language we use, the dysfunction that's associated to sex and sexuality. So I'm really, just really enjoying the study, and there's a lot of content, a lot to look at and read. But the beautiful thing about this learning is it's sort of self-led, so you sort of follow your intuition of what really calls you and go into that. You don't get overwhelmed by how much content is there, but you dive in and just see where it takes you. And it's so much. We're exploring around the genitals, around self-pleasure. There's a phenomenal practice which I'm going to be doing and sharing a lot more about, Orgasmic Yoga practice, a lot about breath, which I've been exploring for a long time, and the circular breath, and many different breathing patterns, conscious breathing, intentional breathing, to really cultivate energy and move energy and raise that orgasmic energy around the whole body, for all sorts of benefits, for healing, for clarity, for mindfulness, for meditation, for practice of getting clear intentions, really understanding consent and clear yeses and nos when it comes to sexuality. And so this is just a little snippet and my first vlog. Please follow other vlogs, there will be more. I'm going to be sharing more in detail the things I learn, the practices that I pick up that I feel beneficial, that can serve you. And I'm going to be writing a little bit about that as well, because I know for many of you, you've probably never heard of the word sex educator or sorry, maybe sex educator, but not sexological body worker. And there may be a whole heap of questions you have around the practice. So there's a growing number of people really studying this area, which is great to hear, because there's still a small amount of people in the world really bringing awareness and to our sexuality. And for me, I feel it's a real area of numbness, an area of avoidance, an area of denial, an area that we avoid even in our spiritual practices, even in our spiritual inquiries, even in our path to self-love and wholeness. You know, many of us talk about self-love. This has been a big realization for me, because I personally haven't masturbated or had a masturbation practice, or really, you know, my beliefs and my thoughts around masturbation, which I will talk about in another video, have been really limited. And so we talk about self-love, and we don't even know how to really bring self-love to our genitals, to our whole body. Our whole body being like a genital generator, an orgasmic power of electromagnetic life force creation. And when you start to really dive into that, it brings up everything, and you get to look at yourself from so many different perspectives. It's really quite profound. And some of the simple practices that I've been doing in the last 22 days are really powerful. They've highlighted lots of things for me, for Dara, for others that I've shared with as part of the training. And yeah, I'm feeling like I've had doubts and so on, but I'm feeling like I'm really going into the core of where a lot of our dysfunction, separation and suffering is stemming from. And I'm going to be definitely speaking more about this, because if we can rewire and reintegrate and bring real peace, mindfulness, meditation and joy into these states of our suppression, then we're really tapping into the key, the what's it called, the holy grail of how we can maybe rewire and transform our whole species. Because you look out there at the dysfunction around pornography, sexuality, the shame associated to it that I notice in so many men's groups, and speaking to men and women alike, because we do that on our retreats. There's so much to uncover, and it's a bit of it's a minefield. We're opening up a can of worms, but I feel this is what's required if we don't want to keep seeing a whole heap of dysfunctional youth who are just completely oblivious to how their body functions and the power that they possess in their genitals and the power that they possess as a sexually embodied being. Woo! That's what I'm talking about as I'm hanging out today in this hammock. So thank you. This is vlog 1. Please tune in. Any questions, feel free to fire them over to me. I will share what I uncover, and I'm looking forward to share this with all of you and anybody I meet, because I'm opening and loving myself more just from 22 days of exploration into self-pleasure and sexuality and the psyche attached to that. Thank you for listening and sharing your time with me and being here in the hammock with me underneath this carob tree on a beautiful permaculture oasis in Malta. Sending you all love. Yes. Trust, follow your intuition, and let's explore our orgasmic selves, our erotic selves, our sexual selves. Let's include these beautiful genitals that we all have, and let's uncover the secrets that they hold. All about feeling. What we feel, we heal. Ciao. Under the carob tree, that's where I be, that's where I be. Under the carob tree, Look, I'm going to read that book now as well. Oh, can you see it? Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it.